Hello, everybody, and welcome to the DonorScape 2.0 overview. I'm Kat Banakis from the analytics team here at GGNA, and we are so incredibly excited to share the new DonorScape with you. Today, we're going to be going over some of the differences between the new and the old site in terms of how to explore prospects, how to add new prospects, a new feature called Generate Insights, and some reorientation around the admin functions and navigation. And I'm happily joined today by my colleague, Catherine Julitz.
Direct your questions to host, which is me. If at any point during the webinar you are experiencing any technical difficulties, please send me an email at cjulitz@grenzglier.com. That's CJULITZ@GRENZGLIER.com, or call WebEx, our meeting provider, directly at 866-229-3239.
And two final quick housekeeping notes. The first is that everything we're going to be going over today presumes a working knowledge of DonorScape. If you are altogether new to DonorScape as a site, I encourage you to sign up for one of our new user training sessions at the end of the month. And also, all names presented during today and any GGNA DonorScape training session are from public records and bear no relationship to any GGNA client institutions. The names have been appended with fictional giving and relationship data and are included for demonstration purposes only. And now that our lawyers are happy, let's get into the system! Yay! So, we had a number of goals in redesigning the system. One is that we looked at the survey that we did in January of 2010, as well as all phone calls and emails that you have sent to our team in the last few years, and tried to design the site around what we knew needed improvement in the past. What we heard from you overall was a desire for easier pulling of lists, a desire for transparency around what our codes mean, how we get to them, how different pieces of data interact, and what is driving a prospect's record. And also the desire to be able to see some amount of summary level data, a snapshot of your whole population. And so we hope that as we look into the new site, you will see those elements coming through in the redesign, in the tooltips, and in how the new work functions will flow. So without further ado, let's get into the site. So I'm logging in here to the training account. And of course, we have a new color palette, which is the most exciting thing. So the new site is oriented around three main tabs. Explore Prospects, which is going to include everything that was part of data results, custom query, custom report builder. Add new prospects, which is the former search tab, so that's going to include adding individual prospects and express upload. A new tab altogether called Generate Insights. And then the different administrative and preferences features are in this little drop-down box next to your name. So I'm going to begin by looking at the Explore Prospects tab. This simple search that you're immediately taken to is a combination of the quick query function on the old site, as well as some of the best loved features of the custom queries. So to look up an individual by ID or name or partial name, you would just type in their ID number here, click search at the bottom, and the tile is going to slide across. When we go back and we do a search for more records than one, we're just going to have a whole series of names coming down here. And we've reoriented this so that you're seeing critical wealth information about these people and what's driving their score right away. So here we're looking at Peter Nolan. He has total giving of $7,388, and we can see summary level information on his income, real estate, securities, and other assets. And in others is going to be corporate assets as well as stock. If we wanted to change the match quality rating, we do that here through the bullseye. Right now we have it at exact, near, possible, and simple, but we can go down to exact, near only just by changing the bullseye. And we see that his gift capacity rating then drops from a 1, as it was, down to a 5 over here. If I wanted to look into Peter's record in particular and in more detail, I would just click on his name. And that's going to take me into what we're calling the Wealth Match tab on his name here. And this we've redesigned around what is driving a person's score in the gift capacity rating. So at the top, we've pulled up the financial information so that you can see the summary level of his income, his real estate, pension, securities, and going down to philanthropic information and his biography. I'm going to expand to include the possible and simple matches, so there are a few more data points on him here. Oops. And you can see then that that's updating these financial numbers. If I wanted to look in and see his market guide income, I'm going to click on this little arrow next to market guide, and it's going to bring up just the first 5 matches so that I can see a quick summary. In this case, there are only 5 matches. But here you can see all of the market guide info. Right now, all of these are possible level matches, but I could change this from a possible up to an exact, or I could delete a match entirely right here, and that asks for a confirmation. Once I've changed a match, and any of the matches I want on the data here, I'm going to change that down to a simple. I'm going to go ahead and refresh my browser to reload the page. And now, if I look at those matches, those changes remain. And if I wanted to see more detail on the market guide matches, I could click here on the number of matches, and it's going to take me into all of the detail from that vendor page and retaining the changes that we made right there. Again, you can change the match quality rating here as you could in the old site, and then you would refresh the browser page to incorporate that. You can see on the left here a summary of all of the codes, both wealth screening and, in the cases where there are predictive modeling codes, the predictive modeling codes. If you want to rescreen a prospect, you would click this rescreen icon. If you want to delete the prospect, you would click delete. And if you want to print out any of the individual reports, they're all here. One of the additional new features that we have in the site is that if you click on prospect details, you can edit a prospect's information in real time. You can change the name, the ID, the address, the giving information. So if I wanted to say total giving dollars, 10,000, I could do that right here, as well as any of the client-defined fields. Click Save. And that's going to come right into his record. So now if we look at giving to your organization, that's at the 10,000 level. I'm going to go back now and pull a few more lists. So we pulled by one ID number. We could also pull by a basic giving range or any of the predictive modeling codes. So I'm going to say I want gift capacity rating 1 to 5 in the state of Alaska. I'm going to make that 7 actually. Hit search. And this is giving me all the people whose primary state is Alaska and who have a gift capacity rating 1 through 7. If I wanted to export this list, similar to the custom report builder feature in the past, I would go here under this gear setting to tell it what headers I want the columns to be. So I'm going to say I want the prospect ID, the name, custom field, address, and then I want the exact only and the exact near gift capacity values. Click Save. And then when I click this export button, it's going to automatically generate an Excel. But it's going to email me when the file is done, so you don't have to wait around. It's telling me that the process is ready and an email will be sent when it's ready to go. While that's thinking, I'm going to go back and do an advanced search. So any of the custom queries that you had saved under your old username will be available here under the advanced search. If you want to just run them exactly as they are, you can pull it from the top menu. So when I click here, it's going to just run this saved search. But if I wanted to modify it, you would pull it up from the bottom. And this is now going to let me modify this saved search. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And you can see here that as I changed the factors in the search, it's telling me how many people satisfy the terms of that search. This way you know if you're writing a query that doesn't work, you're going to come back with 0 matching prospects. And it allows you to be a little more informed about how the search is being run. So I'm going to save this with a new name. Click Save and Search. And it's bringing back all of the California 1 to 5. In the time that we were doing that, our constituent export file is ready. So I'm going to go ahead and download that. And one of the things you'll notice is that it's going to come out immediately in Excel as opposed to TextPad or CSV. The other thing that we've done on this is the Excel is going to automatically populate whatever names you have of your client-defined fields. So in this case, we have gala attendee, past proposal recipient, as fields in the client-defined fields so that you don't have to keep looking back at what your legend was on that. I'm just going to pause here and see if there are any questions about the Explore Prospects function before I move on to adding new prospects. Okay. So add new prospects is very similar to the search function before. You put in the name, the address. If you hit search here, it'll run a preview of any matches found on the prospect. And if you want to go ahead and submit it, you just hit submit record. The add multiple prospects tab is what had been Express Upload, and that has the same functionality. And the Generate Insights tab is all new and all exciting, and we're very excited about it. So what we were trying to do in Generate Insights was to allow you to see an overview of your population or some subset of your population in ways that replicated both our predictive model delivery and also just the ability to see high-level information about your population pool. So we have here the ability to see major gift codes by gift capacity rating, and we can filter this by relationship. So if I wanted to see alums, and we can also filter by whether or not they're assigned to a gift officer. So here, if I wanted to see alums who are not assigned to a gift officer and hit Generate Report, it is going to think really hard, and then it's going to generate a PDF in theory. Ah, there we go. Thank you, PDF. So here we have the number of prospects by gift capacity rating and major gift code. And you could see that for unassigned prospects, parents, patients, whatever your relationship fields are. The other reports we have are PRISM segments, annual fund upgrades, donor sustainability, and for everybody, not just predictive modeling clients, we have what we call the prospect prioritization report, which is the number of prospects at each gift capacity rating and match quality rating. So in this case, you can see your whole population by relationship and assigned gift officer and gift capacity rating. So here I'm going to not choose a relationship field and say I just want to see everybody, assigned, unassigned, all relationships. And this is going to give me a count of the number of individuals at each rating, gift capacity and match quality. You can also see an overall summary of your population here on the right in the by the numbers bar. The account level administrator reports that had formerly been in the match and usage section are now found on the bottom left here. So if you want to run a client usage report, a match stats report, or the text pad zip file of export all data, all of those are found here in the bottom left. And as you know, for the export all data function, that's based on whatever search you have, the query. So if you want it for all records in your account, you would just not choose any search fields at the beginning under the simple search to bring up all records. There are just two quick changes under the admin feature I want to point out. The first is that we've relabeled assigned prospects to record owners because we found that between gift officer assignment and DonorScape user assignment, the term assignment was really confusing. So if you want to limit some DonorScape users to seeing only specific prospects, that happens here under the record owners function, so that you can assign from one user to another or from a query to a given user. Also, what had been called batch update, we're now calling update prospect information. So if you want to use a template to either assign a whole group of record owners or a template to update up to 5,000 prospects at a time, their address, their giving information, their text fields, all of that, via template, you can do that here, just as you could under batch update. We also have an all-new, if it will let me get to it, thank you, an all-new support site with a new user's guide that goes into great detail on everything I've gone over here, as well as a searchable site, reference materials, and webinars, podcasts, everything like that. So this is all new and updated. And overall, that is our new site. We are really excited about it, and we hope that you are too. We have been working hard to get it up and running and bug-free, but we fully anticipate that in the next couple weeks there will be things to iron out and learn. So as you're working with it, please call and email us, support@DonorScape.com, or 1-866-378-8540, because we only learn what's wrong when we hear from you, because that's how we figure it out. But please know that we have really tried to redesign this around your feedback heretofore, and if you have further ideas, we can't wait to hear them. I'm going to stay on the line here in case there are any additional questions. But that is the sum of what is new on the site. So thank you all for working with us on this, and we're really excited to see how the new version works. Thanks, everybody.